on right.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Sacramento Kings legend.
Why don't you go ahead and kick it off then? DeLon Wright.
It does nothing for me.
Yep, that's pretty much it. The only saving grace, I think, for this signing is the defense. I mean, he brings 1.1 steals per game off the bench, which for a team that had really good defense a couple of years ago to not very good defensive rating last year, or at least a lower defensive rating, it's something that I think that they desperately needed coming off of the bench. So you have that going for you at the very least. He shoots almost 37% from three. He's only averaging 4.5 points per game, so he's really not putting up a whole lot. But again, I think the defense is what they're really looking for, and that was really the only signing. So for that, it's not much. I just gave it a C plus just because I think that's what they kind of were looking for and what they needed in a player.
Yeah, I mean that roster, they have one of the best players in the world who was injured in the playoffs last year, and they have Dame, who is at times could be, a top 7 scorer in the NBA, has been in his career at certain points. And then if Chris Middleton can stay healthy and compete, that's a good. This is a team that's looking to add Tyler Hero at the trade deadline in February to take them over the next step. So as long as they can get healthy and they can get enough games under their belt with their core, I think this is the Celtics are tier 1, and then you have the Bucks and the assuming the 76ers round out their roster a little bit more, level right there. But I mean, Giannis is unstoppable when he's healthy and playing at his best, and Dame is a lethal scorer. So
definitely
not a ton you could add to this roster.
No, not really. It's just about staying healthy, just the unfortunate circumstance. And hopefully, the whole coaching fiasco stuff last year and the stuff with Giannis not wanting the previous coach in there, so then they go out and they go get Doc, and it's just whatever to me. I don't understand the romanticizing of Doc Rivers for the NBA specifically. The fans don't romanticize him at all, and somehow he continues to get hired and romanticized. And when he ends up like dead even, like I think what was the record by the end of the season? Not actual record, but with Doc, it was like 15-15 or 15-16, 16-16. I mean, it was pretty close to dead even by the time they even got to the playoffs. So I don't know. It's crazy.
The NBA loves their retreads, man. The Detroit Pistons wanted Monty Williams so bad, and the talk was, nah, man, like I need to take a year or two off, like, and they're like, no, here's this contract. And then after a year, they're like, oh, he doesn't want to languish in Detroit with this terrible roster not winning shit, so he's out. And then Darvin Ham and we just continue to retread these coaches over and over, and Frank Vogel and who's the coach now that used to coach for Budenholzer and just all this other there's a lot of young good coaches in the NBA. Like at this point, maybe we should just like let somebody else have their chance here, because
I mean, there's guys out there who are looking for like more coaching opportunities. I mean, Sam Cassell with the Celtics is looking for a coaching opportunity, and he's been an assistant coach for a couple of years now, and he's raved about, and he still doesn't have an opportunity yet. It's just kind of confusing on why he doesn't. But now, you see it in the NFL, like those assistant coaches, those defensive coaches, those the offensive coordinators, they get those chances. They get them all the time. And the NBA, that just seems like they don't.
Let's not get that misconstrued with hiring JJ Redick, who's never coached a basketball game in his life.
Right.
I'm not advocating for that. Now, I mean, LeBron is the head coach of that team, so JJ Redick is fine. But
dude, he coached his 4th grade son's basketball team, so he's coached.